two recommendations for making work at home, you know, easier or more efficient and more productive. So.
Okay. Okay. You know, so I'm gonna be honest. This may sound really crazy. Step number one, I had to invest in a computer desk. I mean, because trying to do work at my kitchen table was really uncomfortable. I mean, after
Where I'm
sitting in the
sitting right now.
yeah, but after sitting at the kitchen table for so long, and those chairs get hard to you after a while, so I invested in a good computer desk and an actual good chair. So I have a nice, really nice leather chair and a nice desk. I know that may be fundamental, but that was important to me.
Oh yeah, you got to be comfortable.
Exactly, especially since we're all at home now and you're sitting for hours at a time. So you got to be comfortable.
So we talked the other day about all different things that have been changing through coronavirus and quarantine and working from home. And one of the top recommendations you made was to upgrade your router. Tell me a little bit about that and tell me why.
Sure. So for instance, you know, the standard router that's issued to you from your or from your internet service provider, it's usually not that great. So like for instance, here in Memphis, we have Comcast, we have AT&T. So I have Comcast or Xfinity. They rebranded it, right? And the router that they give you, it's a cable modem, but it's going through. It's a cable modem. It's an internet router. It's a wireless router, all in one. And it doesn't really focus on the cable modem piece part because it's also providing you TV, you know, stream to your house, video stream to your house. The radios in it are just not that great.
You can say it. The stuff you rent from Comcast kind of sucks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, I was being polite, but you actually put it nail on the head. Comcast equipment is not that great. So I bought me a Netgear cable modem, Wi-Fi router, all in one. And my house is single story, so it works perfect for my house. Um, it's like I want to say it's a gigabit router. The radios in it are two, probably maybe three times as strong as the little radios in the Comcast equipment. And with my Netgear router, I can go two houses down from my house. I can go across the street to my neighbors. I can go in his backyard. I can go behind me to my neighbors on the street behind me, and I can still pick up my Wi-Fi signal. It's awesome.
Now that is awesome, but I'm just going to throw a random tidbit out there. Can you control how far your signal goes with the equipment that you have?
So mine, yes, it has something called beamforming. It has a beamforming technology in it. And what it does is it basically just picks up it tries to triangulate the signal of where the device is coming from, like where the device is, and it tries to send signals there. So, but I could, if I wanted to go into it and create a map, I could triangulate around my house and tell it to only throw a signal X amount of feet in that direction. If you want to get that granular with it, you can. I mean,
Definitely
I don't.
not necessary for the home part, but for security reasons, for those of you who have small businesses that are upgrading your equipment, you want to make sure that people on the other side of the parking lot can't necessarily just jump into your network without being physically in your building. So if that's a consideration for you, know that getting an awesome, really far range router is a great thing, but you then need to know what those considerations are so that you can manage it to provide the right coverage for you. But I love the fact that you could be in your neighbor's backyard and you're still on Wi-Fi. That's awesome.
Yeah. And considering, business people, especially if you're in like if you're in a commercial building where you're in a base, you're in a commercial bay and you have next door neighbors to your left and your right, you can control the radio signal in your router as far as like the power of the signal strength. You can turn that up or down because you don't want to cause interference. You don't want your radios to be so loud that you're causing interference to your neighbors. You want to be a good neighbor.
So are you overwhelming your neighbor's Wi-Fi signal? You just putting them in their place so you can get solid signal everywhere?
I mean, so honestly, I've looked at their signals, and I mean, honestly, I don't really have any signals coming from the back of me, from the back of my neighbors behind me. My neighbors in front of me, they have Wi-Fi signals, but our houses are spaced out enough to where I'm not really beating up I'm not encroaching on their network too much.
That's
So
good. See, you did the
yeah,
neighborly duty.
yes,
Awesome.
yeah.
So desk and chair for physical comfort, 100% agree with you because I don't love still sitting here all day, every day. And of course, making sure that you've got the right equipment so that your signal strength is optimal. What
Mhm.
is one more thing that you would recommend for those that are now working from home full time?
Well, like I said, having a good having a good router is always key, right? I mean, because the good router will actually, and those aftermarket routers that you get, like the Netgear kind,
Mhm.
they're so much better than the Comcast router or the one that's issued by your internet service provider. The bandwidth is better, the speed is better, the latency is better. So now that we're all working from home, if you like me, you on Skype calls all day, Microsoft Team calls, Zoom calls, video conferencing. So latency, bandwidth is extremely important, especially if you have children or you have multiple people on your network at one time. You want a router that's sophisticated enough to be able to handle that traffic efficiently. So that's important.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate your recommendations. I've collected a couple specific recommendations from you. I'm going to be adding those links to the description in this video. So for those of you who want to look at the different options above and below $100, we've got the top 2 recommendations from Dwayne. And if you have any questions, post them on this video and don't forget to subscribe.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, Antoinette, as always, it's always a pleasure talking with you. Hey, and if any of your users have any questions, if they ping you and ask you anything, I'll be happy to answer.
I appreciate that. Don't all overwhelm them at once.